I guess the last part is due to the fact that my dad's family is Mexican, and he had to work really hard to get where he is. Being Latino and all of that, my mother is British, so I'm a combination of them. I have tan skin and dark brown straight hair like my dad and green nails like my mother. Hey sis! I turned to my right and there was Sonia. Sonia? Sonia. I'm sorry. Guys, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. I'm gonna call her Sonia. Sonia, whatever. Sonia. She was stunning as always. She loved she loved her curvy body and she knew I don't even know how to read. And she knew well how to flaunt it. Flaunt? Yep. Right now she was wearing a black leather dress that looked simple, like a long skin. Like a second. Where did I even get long? Oh my gosh. It was that tight. She didn't look slutty. Well, not much. Her long black hair was straightened and up to her shoulders. Her red Louis Vuitton shoes complemented her whole look. Sonia and I had been best friends since childhood, and now she is my stepsister. My no, my father married her mother a year ago. It was a bit awkward at the beginning of their relationship. For first, at least, Anna was one of my mother's closest friends. So it was weird that they started dating a few months after my mother left us. Not that I blame my father or anything like that. I mean, I was hurting pretty bad after my mother's dep departation. Oh, I don't know. I can't imagine how he felt. Anna was the best thing that happened to him. He seemed pretty happy with her, and just for that, I'm grateful at her, and I treat her like a mother. I mean, she acts more like a mother to me than mine. That reminds me, I haven't seen my mother. That reminds me, I haven't seen my mother. Her invitation. I found as I rubbed my forehead. Are you freaking serious, Emily? She's your mother. I don't know why I made her voice like that. Sonia said as she flipped over the Hello magazine. I'm I'm glad I glared at her. Sonia knew that my mother was a touchy subject. I haven't talked to her since last Christmas when Sam, my fiance, proposed to me. She had left the U.S. Almost 3 years ago, and we rarely spoke over the phone. To be honest, I was truly hurt when she left us without an explanation. All that she said was that she had a bird project or something and that she wasn't coming back. She's a biologist, and even though she mostly worked at Berkeley, she tried to get all her research project near us, so she wouldn't have to leave. Not then. That October afternoon, she went home from work and just packed her things. Before she left, she told me that I could come to the UK to visit whenever I felt like it. She didn't call or send an email asking me how I was doing for the next 8 months after she left. It was really hard out for me. Where am I getting these words? We had been pretty close, and I was completely distraught at her leaving. As 8 months passed, she called one day after my birthday. Had a lame excuse about the time difference or something like that. The first time that she asked me was when I was going to visit her. I haven't. After everything that she put us through, I have despised everything related to that country ever since. I know I was being childish. But it felt like as if that country stole my mother. My mom. Another UK related was on my blacklist. Feeling my glare, Sonia glanced at me for a second. She shrugged and kept reading her magazine. I rolled my eyes and kept flipping mine. He's so handsome. He's so handsome. I would totally do him. What the hell, Sonia? What are you talking about? Doing him? Do him? Oh my gosh, girl. Girl. She's got these things for magazine men. She said with her high-pitched voice. Oh, was I supposed to do a Well, I looked at who she was talking about, and there was a photo of the Prince of Great Britain and his girlfriend. I knew he was the prince because of the lame article title, Royal Breakup, please. As I said, I rarely paid attention to anything British. He wasn't that handsome anyways. He seemed British. I didn't even know his name. His name is Scott, by the way. Well, that's not true. I didn't know that he was Scott Alexander II. Heir to the royal crown. I used to love reading about him and his handsome brother Mark. I'm dead. My mother would always tease me that we would make a really hot couple. I used to blush whenever she mentioned it. I shook my head as if that could help. That was 3 years ago. Now I had forbidden myself to read anything related to the UK. It seems that he's single again. I said tensely. I know that. I am not saying profanity right now. So, I know that Elaine is a total biatch. I'm glad they finally broke up. I glanced around completely embarrassed at the volume of her high-pitched voice. Oh my god. We should totally visit your mom, Emmy. She even jumped excitedly. Snorting, I closed the magazine. Not in a million years, Sonia. She rolled her eyes.